Hi, this is Sherry. One of the tools we're going to use in our session is the Google Jamboard. So I just wanted to give you an overview in case you weren't familiar with it, so you would feel comfortable when we're using it in the session. This is an example of a Google Jamboard. On this example, I have instructions on the first page. So you'd be able to look here for the instructions. On every Jamboard, you're going to see the name of the board in this top left-hand corner. Then in the middle, you'll see the page that you're on, and you'll have arrow keys to move back and forth. So this currently has 4 pages. So on page 2 of 4, I have theme ideas. On page 3 of 4, I have a blank canvas. On page 4 of 4, I have a blank canvas, and I could actually just continue to make pages. Every time I click the arrow, it'll create another frame. And then I can go back and forth on each of these Google Jamboard pages. And so how the board works is I will always have these instructions here. So let's say I'm using one of these tools and I want to undo something. I can click the undo button and it'll let me undo it. I could change my background. Maybe I want to have a black background, or maybe I want to have a grid. So you can change the background to be whatever you want it to be, and then you can clear a frame. And so if I wanted to clear the frame, see how I took all of the information off, and then I could undo and it would bring it back. And so that's how it works to move the ideas back and forth. And then you'll also be able to work with your font. So here I have my font, and then this button right here allows me to choose my font color. So I could make it blue, or I could leave it black, and then I can make it big, so it would be a really big display, or I could make it normal. And so that's how you control what the font looks like in your text box, and that's how you use the undo button. And so that will be available, and then I can align it, so I could make it centered if I had my text box bigger. So if I made it all the way across, then it would be centered, or I could align it left. And so those are some of the things that you can do in working with your text. You'll have on this left-hand side a toolbar, and these will be the options. You'll have a pen, and that just allows you to write. And so hopefully you write a little bit better than me. You'll have an eraser, and that allows you to erase what you've written. And so I could just take that right off of there so you wouldn't be able to see it. And notice it only erases what I wrote, not the grid on the background. This select just allows me to see when I'm on the board, I have my eraser. I can select it back to my cursor. You have a post-it option, and here you can type notes on your post-its. And these are just virtual post-its. You can type whatever you want. You can choose the colors across the top. And then when you're done, you click save, and it adds a post-it on the board. And you can continue to type more post-its until you have all of your ideas on the board. You can change the color at any time and just click save. Clicking save puts your idea on the board on a post-it. And when you're finished, you just press cancel. These post-its are movable. You can move them around. You can write on them. So I could choose my pen, and then I could put a big check on there. And then you can erase what you wrote on top of the post-it, but it still won't change the post-it, just the writing. And so it has a lot of functionality where you can brainstorm, move your ideas, edit your ideas, save your ideas, and put all of the information that you have on the board, just like you would put post-its on a board if you were in person. You can add images, so you could actually pull an image from your computer or from the internet, click add image, update it, and it'll actually pull an image onto the board for you. You could add circles if you wanted to, and so adding a circle just allows you to put the circle on the board if I wanted to circle it and maybe put a post-it in it. Now notice in this example, when I put the post-it there, you can't see it. And the reason is because the circle is layered on top. And if I just click on those 3 little dots, so when I have the circle, see these 3 little dots right here? If I click there and click on order, I can send the circle to the back, and then it will show behind whatever it is I put on top of it. And so sometimes people might want to put text boxes and then put the circle around the text box, and so you could do it like that. or you could just delete your circle by clicking on the circle, and then I'm just going to hit my delete key on my keyboard and my circle is gone. And so you can do the same thing with your post-its if you want to do that, and you can edit them, you can duplicate them, you can delete them, or you can change their order. And so the last field here that I'll tell you about is the text box. And if you just click on the text box and then click on the actual Google Jamboard, it brings up a text box, and then you could type your header. So I might type final themes as my header, and then I would want to make it a little bit bigger maybe, and then I would want to move it on the screen right here. And then if this was a final theme idea, I might want to move it underneath it. And so you will just be able to type different information and put it in different places. I could also click on this and I could say, oops, I want to move it. And so I could move it to the next page and then just paste it over here. And now I'll have final themes on page 3. So the best way to learn how to use a Google Jamboard is to actually play with one. And so I have provided you with a link after this video. Feel free to put any information on that Jamboard that you want. Put any questions out there for me, and I can jump on there and answer them for you. And just play until you feel like you're really comfortable. And this last option I'll show you is a laser, and that just allows you to help people point to the screen to where they're going. And again, I would just put select to have it back. So I hope that this little tutorial helped you understand more about Jamboards. Please feel free to practice and use the Jamboard, and we will see you in our session. Have a great day.